Hi everyone. So the goal of this video is to understand the steps involved in a reflex. All right, so first of all, let's just talk about what is a reflex. So reflexes are rapid automatic responses. So it's very important. I'll say that one more time. They're automatic responses. So your brain is not involved. I think that's a common misconception when people use the term reflex. Um, that it's something that involves the brain. It's actually something that kind of just bypasses the brain or doesn't even go to the brain at all. And in this picture, you can kind of see an example of a common reflex, and actually one that we will try to do in class, where we'll have a person maybe tap somebody's knee. And this is something that you might have experienced when you go to the doctor. And when you tap the knee, then your leg should kind of kick out a little bit. And it's something that you don't really think about. It's not something that you can control. It's just something that your body naturally does. So let's talk about how reflexes work. There are five main steps, and these five steps altogether are called a reflex arc. And so we can imagine maybe someone touches something that is very sharp, and then they quickly pull their hand back, almost without even thinking about it. So step one is a sensory receptor detects something that triggers the reflex. So as we kind of look at this picture, we'll see this picture over the next few slides. The blue represents a sensory neuron, and the arrows kind of show you which direction is the information going. All right, and then an important part of this picture is that this pink thing here represents your spinal cord. So remember, your spinal cord is part of your central nervous system. It's protected by your vertebrae, but it's kind of just like a mushy uh, like organ that is just made of a bunch of neurons. All right, and then you can kind of see the rest of the message kind of be sent down this red neuron, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. So step one, sensory receptor detects something. Step two, the sensory neuron sends a signal to the spinal cord. So this is kind of where we are here. We're sending this signal to the spinal cord. Step three, we might have something called an interneuron. There might be an extra neuron in here that kind of is kind of connecting this input to the output. So we might call that an interneuron, and it integrates the information. Step four, and this slide is kind of busy here. Again, just kind of keeping track of where we are. Step four, we're now in the red neuron here. So a motor neuron transmits a signal that causes the reflex movements. Remember, motor neurons are related to motion. So think about a motor, think about motion, and it's going to tell our body to move. All right, so the signal is going to be sent to maybe a muscle. And so step five, some kind of muscle contracts. So if we can imagine a person touching that prickly cactus, as soon as they touch it, they quickly pull back, and the motor neuron is telling their muscles to pull back quickly. And that's what a reflex is. Here's just another picture to kind of show you. And again, one important idea that I'll point out right now when you look at this picture is that this whole pathway does not involve the brain. Okay, so it's something that just completely bypasses it. So again, follow the lines here. The blue is representing information going in. So let's say you touch something very hot. That signal is going to be sent to the spinal cord, and then there might be some kind of interneuron here that kind of integrates that information. And then there's some information sent to the muscle, and that muscle, in this case, would be like a bicep, kind of telling your arm to quickly contract and get your hand away from the flame. And that's pretty much it. That's what a reflex is. So of course I'll have you guys do some guided notes related to this, and this is a separate lesson. I might have a few practice questions. And again, I'll try to have a little activity that we do in class where you can kind of explore reflexes and think about what is happening and is the brain involved or not. So we'll pause here, and that's it.